This is my third time trying to record the audio, and I made these drawings in September, and I'm almost positive that by the time this video comes out, the trend will no longer be a trend. But whenever I ever follow trends, I need more coffee. Salutations everyone, my name is Gwen, and welcome to an Eccentrics Hobby Closet. I'm going to be following a bit of a trend that's been coming up on YouTube, and I think started on TikTok. I don't know. I'm not on TikTok. Anyway, in which people have been drawing themselves or their friends or whatever have been drawing themselves in various shows, video games, books, whatever, like pieces of media that they enjoy. Sort of like a bit of a self-insert sort of thing, which is fun. That's a good time. I live for self-inserts and fan OCs. Please, give me more. Delicious. Anyway, I decided to do that today. What I started off doing is I had one particular piece of media that I wanted to do, and then the other three I didn't know, so I just made a list of 40 different things that I enjoy, from shows and movies to video games and manga, just everything. Everything, even some of the childhood things that I don't necessarily interact with as much anymore but are held fondly in my heart. I did that, and then I just randomly rolled for them, just randomly picked them. And with that intro out of the way, let's roll the footage. Let's go. So the first one I rolled was Skate the Infinity. This is probably going to be like the most popular and the most relevant thing in this video. So it's going first. The name I suggest is an anime about skateboarding. And, you know, there's lots of other cute things like, you know, power of friendship and all that, you know, usual anime stuff. But I was very excited that I got to make my skateboarding persona. You see in the corner that I sort of have a like 3D model. I kind of use that to, you know, figure out the posing and how it looks, and then I'll sketch over it to figure out like where the building blocks are, so that way I can try to recreate it later, not tracing over the thing, but kind of having a reference for when I'm trying to make it fit into my art style, so that way I don't depend too much on the 3D models. Everyone, when they are skating, kind of has like a motif that they follow, I guess. Like a theme, whether it's like a surfer dude or a reject from Kiss or a tech wear samurai. So I decided that I would just show up in all of this space clothing because I love space. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of put that in a bunch of like little accessories and stuff for my skate character. It's kind of weird thinking about I am exactly the same age as Cherry, Adam, and Joe. That's kind of a weird sort of realization that I had while I was designing this. This was not a style challenge, but I did try to sort of mimic like the poster art. And I think she's cute. I think I'm adorable. The next one I got was SSX 3 specifically. SSX is an older video game series. The last one that they published was in 2012. But the one that I played the most growing up was SSX 3, which came out in 2003, which is crazy to think about. So this is there's a lot of like that early 2000s punk sort of aesthetic that I really enjoy. I took probably way too long trying to like do some research on like early 2000s fashion and stuff, because I was like, you know, I want to be accurate, and I can't really like base it off of my own experience because I was like 6 in 2003. So I tried to do some research, and then after a while I was like, okay, I'll do a little bit of research, but in the end I'm just gonna do whatever I want. So I just kind of turned myself into this little cutesy little grunge character with lots of layers, because I do get cold. I probably would be sweating at some point because I have done snowboarding in the past, and that usually happens. And I gave myself sunglasses because I am prone to headaches, and the sun coming off of the snow is painful, I know from experience. And again, I tried to mimic the ad posters that they had going around back then, not to a T, more like you know, inspired. I had a good time with this. This was fun. This next one was the main reason that I decided to do this video. I had thought about possibly doing this challenge, but it was really cemented in my brain when a fellow artist on YouTube, I'll put their name up on the screen because I can't remember it right now, did this challenge and put herself in this series. I was like, that's it, I have to do it. I didn't even know this was an option. I have to do this now. So I drew myself into Drawtectives. And if you do not know what Drawtectives is, I really don't know how to explain it to you. It is a role-playing mystery series that also features drawing challenges. I went through a few ideas working on this. I initially thought about being like, oh, I could be a fashion designer, and the Drawtectives crew would have to draw some designs for me in order to get like whatever clue that my character would have. But I came up with an idea that is so much better. I went back to my roots of younger me really wanting to write a mystery novel. I don't know, it was something that I've always wanted to do. It's still something that I want to do, but there's just so much that is involved in writing mysteries. I decided that my character would be an aspiring mystery author, and she would show up and she would start kind of shadowing the Drawtectives because she wants an accurate sort of idea of what being a detective is like. If you should know anything about Drawtectives, it is that the crew are not your typical detectives, and it is highlighted in every single episode. So I like the idea of this author, following around the Drawtectives to know, like, oh, so this is what it's like to be a detective, and for it to be so inaccurate. But it's too funny to me. I had a lot of fun designing my outfit because I got to be like, okay, how can I mix like how I design characters and how Julia Lepetit would design a character? And it was a good time. It was so much fun. I love this outfit. I need it. I made myself an elf because of course I did. I made myself exhausted because of course I did. I have my little notebook so I can take notes, and a little bag that I could carry all of my stuff in. I don't know. This is great. I had a bit of issue with the last one where I did not record the correct monitor, so it did not record any video. All I had was this. So instead of going back and redrawing the whole thing all over again like I normally would, I'm doing something a little bit different. The next piece of media that I got was Luminous Arc, a tactical JRPG that were released between 2007 and 2015. Again, kind of an older sort of franchise. And instead of having the time-lapse video, I decided that I would record myself playing Luminous Arc on my first Nintendo DS. I don't know. There's something a little bit nostalgic about that. So I thought that could be a fun little thing while I talk about my design. So Luminous Arc takes place in this fantasy setting. There are, I believe, 4 games in the series. And there's not really an overarching plot between the games, but it's always like this sort of medieval fantasy sort of thing. There's always centered around witches and there's always like each witch controls like an element, like earth, air, fire, water, lightning. Very Genshin Impact. The Luminous Arc is probably what kind of springboarded me into wanting to be a character designer. I've always loved the art. Looking back now, I can see that some of their design choices are a little bit questionable. It's very early anime, but I loved how they painted the characters. I loved how everything looked. I don't know. I look at the series through rose-tinted glasses probably, but like I said, this probably is what started me on my art journey. So I did some brainstorming, and I couldn't decide between being a witch or being a ranged archer. If you don't know my love of witches, please go refer to the Strawberry Shortcake as Witches playlist on my channel. And a archer because whenever I play games, I am generally like a ranged type of person. I'm usually the archer or the sniper. That's sort of like also kind of playing into my own personal gameplay mechanics. And then I decided, you know what? This is my video. This is my design. I'm going to be both. So I am a witch that casts magic through her bow, and she can like produce magical arrows that she can shoot. It is so over the top that it's almost perfect for Luminous Arc. I kind of went back and forth on what element I would control. I decided that I would probably base myself off of the first Luminous Arc game. That game does not have a ice element in it. So I decided I would be an ice witch, which is kind of funny because I don't like the cold. But then I had fun really designing like this really flowy sort of outfit. Luminous Arc characters have a lot of detail in their designs and stuff, so I tried to mimic some of that. I gave myself the elf ears, of course, because that is a thing that Luminous Arc characters also have. They can also be not necessarily elves, but have pointy ears. It's great. And just to kind of change things up, because usually the witches don't have like quote unquote normal colored hair unless it really matches with what their element is. I decided to give myself gray hair because I think it's always been a dream of mine to just be a young person with really cool gray hair. So if I have an opportunity to design myself like that, I'm going to take it. Here is my final drawing. I think it's cool. I definitely don't want to make this dress so that way I could wear it. I definitely don't. Those are my 4 self-inserts, I guess, into Skate the Infinity, SSX3, Draw Detectives, and Luminous Arc. I had a lot of fun doing these designs. In some of like watching other people do these, there's been sort of some back and forth of like, is it kind of cringy to draw yourself into a series? Like, that's something that, like, my 12-year-old self would have done. And to that, I say, yes, it is something that my 12-year-old self would have done, and I was very happy doing it. And you know what? I was just as happy doing it this time around. I might do it again. Let me know if I should do more of these. Like I said, I made a whole list of fandoms and stuff that I enjoy. I am prepared to do this again. I have ideas to do this again. Maybe next time I'll have some more popular and relevant shows or games to design myself into, because a lot of these were either, aside from Skate, were either a series from a YouTube channel or video games from before the 2010s, which again feels kind of weird when you think about it. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below if you were familiar with any of these and which ones. And I don't know, tell me your favorite characters. Tell me what you would be if you were in these universes. I don't know. Tell me anything. Let's talk. If you enjoy videos like these where I do fun little character designs and such, please consider subscribing, watching some of my other videos. I think that I have a few good ones personally. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and do the things that you love to do the most, including drawing self-inserts. It's a good time. Bye-bye.